My company, C47 Films, is a video and branding consultancy. We work with small, medium, and large businesses all over the world, solving the problem of getting attention. That's really at the core of, that's what we do. So as I know, the world shifted like, I don't know, 5 weeks ago. Everything's changed. And I actually started noticing a shift in digital communication long ago. I've been doing this a very long time, but never has it been so apparent as it is right now. A couple of years ago, a lot of my peers and even myself still were leaning on big branded productions. I mean, I'd have a huge crew together and we'd be throwing around 5 and 6 figures to create a single video. And we still do. There's merit behind, having the main corporate overview video and the sales video, for your product and your service, or if you're going to a convention, you want to have a great video running in your booth. Things like that still have great value because they're applied in the right way. But what you can't do, and none of us can do, I can't do it, even Pepsi and Coke don't do this. They don't spend $50,000 per video to do content 2, 3, 4 times a day. That would be unsustainable. And so really we know that there's 2 different worlds. There's this big world of really important high dollar videos. Then there's this other world where we need to, as individuals, as solopreneurs, as small and medium businesses, we need to figure out how to own our voice and our influence for our marketplace, but do it with high frequency and relatively low dollars. I'm gonna give you 5 overarching concepts with actionable steps under each one of them so that you can get the self-permission, but also the tactics to go ahead and start launching into creating video online. If you're not creating video currently, you need to. If you are, I promise you by the end of this, you're gonna get some clarity on how to move forward for your brand in maybe new and different ways. Get over yourself. So key number 1 is get over yourself. This is all really actually about self-limiting beliefs. Nobody expects you to be a video expert. So they're not waiting for a Ron Howard production. But they are, and this is how you need to come at your videos, they are willing to accept you as an expert, just not a video expert. And people will for themselves draw these lines. So if you are expert in an industry and you are going to express your expertise on behalf of educating and growing your audience, no matter how bad your video may be in comparison to high quality visual experiences, everybody's going to excuse it because they're there for the expertise. They're there for you. The value and the ideas lead. Right. So you really do need to get over all these self-limiting beliefs and start testing the waters, because when do you start? You start now, you start today. If you keep putting it off, you're only hurting yourself. You're not helping anybody else. And that's the name of the game. This whole point is this is a relationship economy, and you need to build relationship by being a giver. And you give freely of your expertise, and in exchange, you become known as the expert. And the experts get recommended, they get hired, they get seen as the go-to. I want to be the go-to, don't you? So point number 2, this is the most powerful film tool on the planet. And the reason why, if you think about it, it's filming in HD or 4K, depending on which phone you have. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't worry about 4K, just clean images are what you're looking for. It is connected to the internet, so you can go live or you can record and post later. You can easily, just on an iPhone, without having to have any edit software, trim the front and the back off of your video. So we've all seen those videos where somebody reaches in and starts and then reaches in and stops. You can cut that off really, really easy. So now if you're going for the one-take wonder experience, you at least have the finger pushing out of the way. It will adjust for your lighting and your audio on its own using auto settings, but you also can control those. And you can edit on that if you want to. It is an insanely powerful tool. In fact, frequently what ends up happening is the phone is doing so much work for you, it's solving problems that you didn't even know existed, and it looks better and sounds better because it's working on your behalf. The pro stuff is expecting you to be the pro. And so it's got way more layers of stuff. So avoid that. God built us with eyes here and not here, which means vertical video doesn't make any sense unless you're going to do things where you're releasing 2 vertical platforms. So stories, Facebook and Instagram are vertical. If you're building for that exclusively, go for it, because they have built their platform to honor 9:16, but the rest of us are doing 16:9, and that's the ratio, 16:9. And that really, it's more applicable to shoot horizontal because, well, a variety of things. Most platforms still are. Most monitors and laptops, you know, TVs, they're all 16:9. So if you shoot vertical video, it displays weird. And let's say you hit internet gold. Let's say you did the thing that needs to go viral and you want to reuse it 10 different times in 10 other videos. Widescreen or 16:9 edits into other things better than vertical video. It's an editing nightmare for guys like us who maybe have to clip things in and make magic out of it when it's vertical. So try to avoid that, but let's worry about the end consumer experience. That's what matters. And they're not going to care whether it's 720 or 1080. It's just the bottom line. You're trying to express an expert concept to people who need your voice. The final resolution at 720 will never be really warm and enjoyable on a 40-foot screen in a movie theater. You also will never be putting it there. So with that in mind, keep it simple, keep it small, keep it accessible. So smaller file sizes. The light goes on your face. Try not to be backlit. That's the bottom line. So if you have an open window in front of you and the camera's between you and the open window, so the light's on you and the camera's on you, you're doing well. If the camera's on you and the light is on the back of your head, it's actually kind of funny because the cell phone knows to try to take the human and make them more visible, but you're asking it to do unnecessary extra work. So suddenly you're going to get a whole bunch of weird pixelation and things that are, it's your phone working hard on your behalf. And there's some negative consequences to it, and it does degrade the image quality slightly. So we want to just help your phone help you and keep the light on your face. And I'm a huge advocate of batching your work like Betty Crocker. So that is actually point number 3 in the 5 keys to owning your influence online using video. Basically, I mean, think about when you're making cookies. Do you make one cookie or do you make cookies? Do you put a tray of 12 in or do you put a tray of one small cookie in? When you're in a manufacturing facility, and I've done a ton of work in the manufacturing world, I don't see them make one-off parts unless they're rapid prototyping to get proof of concept. But once they're to market and they're to scale, they don't make one part, they make 500 parts, 50,000 parts, whatever it is, they're making a lot in one shot. I want you to make a lot in one shot too. The reason why I want you to do this really is I've met more than my fair share of people who try to do like a video a day. So they've come up with a schedule and like every morning, 9 a.m. for 15 minutes, I'm gonna do a video. And what ends up happening is you're massively changing your own behavior. And you're expecting the world to respect that boundary of that time that you've set, and it won't. And so you will break whatever habit you're trying to create. You will get discouraged, you will stop. I don't want that to be a thing for you. First Monday of the month, I want you to sit down with your cup of coffee for an hour. Grab a napkin and a felt tip pen. This is important. It is really, really hard to write on a napkin with a felt tip pen. It keeps you from writing too much. I want you to have a handful of video topic ideas. Gal at Lift Leadership, she's a certified DISC expert, and we're currently working together on an overview of DISC. A very simple, this is what it is. Okay, fine. Well, DISC is broken out into D, I, S, and C. There's 4 letters that have different personality types. All right, okay, so now we suddenly have 4 more videos. Now we have 5 total, but to really understand DISC, I mean, it's a whole certification program. It takes like days to figure this stuff out. So, and even at a surface level, and then it takes a lifetime to practice it. So there's a lot there, but until you start peeling it back and go, oh, how does a D interact with an I? How does a D interact with a C? You know, now we've got more topic headings, so we could literally create, I don't know, hundreds of videos for DISC because there's a lot to talk about. So ultimately, Monday 1, you're going to start coming up with ideas. And if you decide that you're going to talk about the top level stuff later in future videos, you can mine down and it doesn't undo the value of your previous videos. I want you to have a goal of coming up with 5 video topics. That's Monday 1. Monday 2, and you're gonna put it down for the rest of the week. Don't touch it the rest of the week. Monday 2, with your coffee in hand, go to a good, clean location, set up your camera on your tripod, your phone on your tripod, and film the 5 video topics. So now you're gonna have 5 video topics, what we call in the biz, in the can. So you've got them in the can, they're on your solid state memory in your phone, and they're gonna sit there for a week. I don't want you to do anything else. I want this to be easy. So you spent about an hour on a Monday, then you spent maybe an hour and a half on the next Monday. The following Monday, you're going to trim the finger push off of each one of the videos, and then you're gonna send them to either Facebook direct using the Creator Suite, which is where you can go ahead and schedule your posts, or you're going to find a posting program that will help you schedule things. The old school program that a lot of people know about is Hootsuite. We use Postfity in our company, Postfity. I don't really actually know how to even pronounce it. It's a terrible name, but they're very effective. And what we like about them is they can schedule posts to LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it covers like all the majors. And you will schedule your videos to be released. And you're going to do it for 1 time per week. So for the next 5 weeks, you will have that coverage. And then the following week, so you've done 3 Mondays in a row, the 3rd Monday being scheduling, the 4th Monday you start over. The reason why you don't take a day off or a Monday off, don't stop the rhythm. Every Monday morning you do this. And now what you've done is you are going to get ahead of yourself because you're going to write another 5 videos. You're going to then film another Monday out, another 5 videos. So now that's your, what is that? Your 5th Monday. You are filming your next 5 videos. Your 6th Monday, you're scheduling your videos. And you didn't have your first videos scheduled out until the 3rd week. So now you're 2 weeks ahead. But this gets you into the game and it gets you ahead of the game. And that's really the point. So that's point number 3. Point number 4 is not about scheduling, like the fact that you have to on the 3rd Monday of your cycle schedule, but build a schedule for release that has merit. Meaning, if you can figure out who your customer profile is. So let's, Wayne, my guess is most of your donors are adults. They're probably also adults who are not just out of college and, figuring it out, working part-time at Starbucks and still kind of at intern level, entry level. They don't have disposable income. These are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80-year-olds who have maybe some kids, they've bought their first house. So what would be the time we might reach these people? Lunch breaks at work, after the kids are in bed, Sunday nights in between football games. Those are all potential times where you might release video content and do it with regularity for a while so you can see how the market behaves and see if your guess was right. You can always iterate later, and they'll stay online, so they're always available. You're not wasting your time if you miss the mark. If you've got the budget to start doing ad buys, you got to target all of those demos, geos, psychographics to try to figure out how to get into their head. That's really the goal, is you've got to get your message to them. So write a schedule that kind of makes sense to you and start testing and observing and modify your schedule as needed. So that's key number 4. And finally, key number 5, and this is hard depending on your personality type, especially high eyes like me. We like to hear ourselves talk, but we don't necessarily like to listen. And so that is the 5th key, is to listen to your audience, because the moment somebody says something to you, there's data. They might say, thanks for the message. Okay, the data is this resonated enough for them to take action to say thank you. They might ask a question. One, I always say, answer the question immediately, but start with, I'm so glad you asked that. Give them gratitude. Answer their question, and then let them know that you're going to create a video on that topic for them. When I create the video, it's like, so Gal from Lift Leadership asked me a question, and I already answered it for her, but I want to elaborate on it because I bet she's not the only one who is wondering. And so you answer the question, and then you close with, thank you, Gal, for bringing this to everyone's attention. That was really important. The likelihood that one Gal's going to see it because you took the time to tag it is pretty high. The likelihood that she's going to appreciate that you took the time for her is pretty high. And the likelihood that she might share it is much higher than if you hadn't tagged it. In fact, there's always the chance that you took that idea, and if she felt personally about it, she could even be offended if you don't say, Gail came up with it, if you take credit for it. So I love the gratitude play in situations like that. So key number 5 is listen and respond with your listening ears on. Those are the 5 keys. Get over yourself, use the tech that's in your hand, batch your work, schedule based on your best guess of who your audience is, and listen to your audience and give them what they're asking for. Now, you should just shut this off and go start creating videos.